All right, Barlow Brigade. How's everybody doing on this wonderful Monday morning? Man, it has just been great weather. Today is Lundy Gras. Uh, some of y'all may know what that is, but it's Monday before tomorrow, which is Fat Tuesday. Um, a lot of folks here in South Mississippi uh, enjoy the Mardi Gras season. I don't have any problem with it. It's a great thing. I used to do it. I was right there in the middle of it. I got right all in it. But now Mardi Gras to me means everybody's drunk. Stay off the highway. Not really. Not everybody's drunk. I didn't mean it that way. But y'all know what I mean. New Orleans now. You go to New Orleans, if you're not walking around with one of them 16-ounce daiquiris, I mean, you almost don't fit in. But that's a whole different culture down there. So anyway, it's all good. I don't have any problem with anybody enjoying themselves. That's why my favorite saying is "Get in there where you fit in there," because it fits just about everything. Whether you're doing pocket knives, or you having your drink, or whether you having a cookout with your friends. Okay, it's all good. Well, y'all know today is Monday. Y'all probably know what that means. So let's get her started. Look at that nice custom Big Jim slip. I just don't want it to get hurt, guys. There's my pocket cross, Holy Land pocket cross. It was provided to me by Mr. Dwayne Clark at Clark Kentucky Knives. He calls it a knife channel. I call it a ministry. The man brings the word. Love you, brother Dwayne. Get over there, check him out. If you have not subscribed to this gentleman, you're missing the boat. That's all I can tell you. Well, if it's Modified Monday, that means the hashtag that was provided to us for us to enjoy was brought to us by Mr. Aaron Williams. Okay, Aaron Williams is just a great fellow. I don't know how. I want a knife from him. It's just unbelievable. It's been in my pocket ever since I got it, and it'll probably stay in my pocket. And I mean, I got some bangers. I got some VVs. I got some Kershaws. I got every kind of modern you can think of, but ain't none of them gonna hold a stick to this bad boy. Okay, I think I may do 2 videos today, and if I do, I'll probably have a pocket dump in the front of the other video. I kind of swore off doing pocket dumps because I can sit here and pull stuff out of my pockets for 2-3 minutes, and none of it would be knives, but. That's just because I guess I'm crazy about anal about having all the stuff I need with me, medical stuff and my flashlight and all that. Anyway, and don't be fooled, guy, because I'm gonna tell you right now, the flashlight that broke the internet right there, still in my pocket. Just pulled it out. Been toting this for 3+ years, guys. Okay, I buy the cheap batteries from Walmart. I think you can get 8 AAA batteries for $2.75. I mean, I've been, like I say, y'all go buy your $300 old lights and your Nebo. Now look, I got something. I got a $35 flashlight sitting right here. But I don't carry that because it's big and bulky. Got a clip on it. Just not gonna tow it. All right, I'm sorry. Got on a rant about my dang flashlight. What we talking about? Well, I picked up 2 small Stockmans out of the dungeon at Deep South. Okay, one of them is a Case, and one of them is a Parker Frost. Okay, and I've done a thorough cleanup on these. Really no modification, but to me, restoring a pocket knife is just as much a modification as changing the blade or taking it all apart and all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is to me, and today that's what we have. I got these 2 pocket knives that I'm going to go over y'all when I get through. I got one of my flyovers. I'm going to give y'all a flyover on both of these pocket knives, and after that we'll come back and I'll show them to y'all. And then I got one more pocket knife that is a friend of mine dropped off about 3-4 days ago. Got a little story goes along with that pocket knife, and I did a restoration on it. Now, it took a minute. I've been rubbing on this one for a minute. Now, when you hear the story, you'll know why. Okay, let me, I'm going to stop and put the flyover in there. Remember, we're going to be looking at two small Stockman pocket knives, one made by Case and one made by Parker Frost. So we'll be right back. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed the flyover. Anyway, two small Stockmans. All right, we're going to get started with the Case. Get y'all down here. We can get a little, maybe get a little better view of stuff. I mean, I love my display back there, but sometimes I don't concentrate on where I need to be holding the knife, and I know that's concerning for some folks. For me, it's not really no big deal. But anyway, we're gonna get in there and do it right. All right, the first is a Case pocket knife. This is the one that was in the flyover. It is a 8-dot. Now it's gonna have grease because I've always oiled my joints real good, so we're gonna have grease. But anyway, it's a Case 8-dot, and you'll see it's X's. I call it X's on. That means the X's are sitting on the tail. Now, the year before this, I call it X's with the tail, and that means the tail runs towards the end of the X's and then drops off. So that would be X's. This is X's on the tail, and that's just the way I keep up with it. Okay. Now this the clip blade here has been reprofiled. That was already done. Now I refined that point just a little bit, not much, but it's not blistering sharp because I haven't sharpened these because I mean, I've been doing the restoration on them. And I feel sure, this fine stainless steel, that good Case. Come on, Jim. Good Case steel. I mean, there's nothing wrong. And if you look, there's your pattern. It's a USA 63087 stainless steel. Now, this is a gentleman's knife, and a lot of people get concerned when the spade blade is over here and there's not a sheep's foot and you got a pin blade on it. Now, me, I'm not really, that doesn't really matter. I love, don't get me wrong, the 75 and the 48, when they got the sheep foot blade on them, I mean, those are excellent pocket knives. Now, I've taken this, and it's had the full spa treatment. Y'all can get in there. Both of these pocket knives were soaked for about, I don't know, 5 days, 6 days. Still got you. I mean, it's a little knife, so it's not gonna have you alligator snap in there, but to be a 2002, I think. Still got pretty good state. Old thing polished up good. I'm fairly sure these are Delrin covers. Sometimes I get confused because I'm not the. I mean, I love Case knives. I'm just not. Got your brass liners. But anyway, just an excellent little old cutter. I mean, this would be one that most gentlemen would put in their pocket, take it to church. A little vest pocket, watch pocket. Just a beautiful little pocket knife, guys. I mean, what's it worth? I don't know. I got it. I collected it because it was, like I say, it was in the dungeon, and usually at Deep South, when they get to the dungeon, that's usually the end of their faith. You know, somebody's going. But I like to get them out of there and restore them. Well, that thing ain't gonna cooperate, is it? But I like to get them out of there and give them a good cleaning, put them back in service, make them good pocket knives again. I believe that's a good pocket knife. Now, number two is something that's really kind of become dear to me because I think I'm going to try to collect as many of these as I can. In 1979, Parker Frost was one of the players, and of course everybody knows who Jim Parker is. And, well, not everybody. You know, I always say everybody, you know, and that's an inclusive statement because I feel sure that the lady at the checkout counter at the Quick Stop in town doesn't know anything about Jim Frost or Jim Parker. But knife people know who Jim Parker is, and most knife people know who Jim Frost is. So, when I say things like that, I hope y'all understand. But anyway, in 1978, they were making pocket knives for the. Schrade was making pocket knives for Parker Frost. Okay, they were sold in the U.S. They were USA made knives, and for the first part of the year, the knives were made, and the only thing on the chain stamp was Parker Frost. And then halfway or during the production, Schrade started putting their name on the knives, and this did not make Mr. Parker very happy. So he stopped the production from Schrade, and I think a few of them were made by Camillus at the end of 1978. I'm not sure of that. There are some places it says that, and some places it doesn't. But anyway, as a point of reference, this is a Parker Frost. It's a bone handle, but it's a full-size Stockman. Y'all can see, beautiful bone handle. It's numbered. It's out of a number set. This is a collector's knife that I bought at a gun show recently. Now, and like I say, it was a trade deal, and this is called the Bison. It's kind of hard to see, but you can see it kind of, and it has the Parker Frost USA tank stamp with the eagle, and on the other side it says 178-2. Now the -2 is the part number, because I think there's 14 of these. Now some people say there's 17 because there's some fixed blades. These come in black Delrin, like the one I'm fixing to show you. They come in bone, and they also come in white. And some of those were scrimshawed, and some of them were sold as advertising knives that have, you put your company name on there or whatever. But anyway, this thing is just a beauty. Now, this is the condition it was in when I got it. Now, y'all know me, I'm going to rub it. I just took a micro cloth and rubbed this up, got it, shining. All it needed was for me to bring it home and to enjoy it. I have carried this one a couple of times. Also, I have the Muskrat. Now, it's in the black Delrin, like the knife I'm fixing to show y'all. But listen to this, guys. Okay, it's the cutter right here. It's the real deal Holyfield. I carried it because it's mine. I figured if it was mine, I could carry it, so I did. So there you go, guys. There's your full-size Stockman. This is like a 48 pattern. 47 pattern with case. Just a beautiful pocket knife. So there's your reference of what we're looking at here today. Now this is the same size knife as the case we got right here. It's a small Stockman. Okay, in black Delrin. Now y'all gonna see a lot of similarities between the buck knives of this time, or still today, and these knives. You got your black synthetic Delrin, but this one here is a user. Somebody had carried this and had it in their pocket. It's not, the bolster's not numbered, and it's a user. But got a back spring, brass. She got double brass on this side over here. Parker Frost, get the shield. Now this thing cleaned up beautifully. All right, we'll look at that main blade right there. And guys, look at that pawpaw tenor. Oh Lord, look at that pawpaw tenor. Man, that thing just beautiful. Now, this is why I'm kind of going after, maybe trying to collect as many of these as I can. Just a beautiful, beautiful. Now let's go ahead and get the. Let's see. You see that says 1978, and it's the number 11. Number 11. that's the number that it is in the series. But just to my big old hand. I mean, it's not you're not gonna go out and chop down trees and stuff with it, but it is what it is, guys. It's just a beautiful little old Stockman, something that anybody be glad. Got your sheep foot, got your spade blade, just a beautiful knife. And so there's certain things in life that trip my trigger, and the main thing is when I put this on that Arkansas soft stone I got, started giving it a little spit and swirl. Lord have mercy, you could feel it. You knew what you had. Just a beautiful, beautiful pocket knife. Anyway, guys, there you go. That's your Parker Frost small Stockman case. Small Stockman. Something I really enjoy taking these knives and bringing them back and making them, to me, excellent pocket knives once again. All right, now I'm going to do y'all another flyover. This is another case knife. A friend of mine who, anyway, I'll get into who he is. His name's Eddie Alexander. Just a great gentleman. I used to own a salvage yard. He worked in my salvage yard. He was, I would call him the chief associate parts puller. He would do whatever I asked him to do. If I needed a motor pulled, or if I needed a rear end pulled, or if I needed an alternator pulled, he would take care of it. This guy was good. I paid him good. He worked hard. But anyway, he found a pocket knife, and there's a little story goes along with it. And I think it'll be a graphic. It's going to be a graphic little story, and what I found when I was restoring this pocket knife for him, I think will be quite interesting for y'all. So let me put that clip in here. It's going to be a flyover. The yellow Delrin, the 07 pattern Trapper. All right, we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We got everything. I got all my clips in order. Y'all should have just looked at a case Trapper. It is a 2015, a 5-dot. The number on it is 3207. That's a 3207 in the CV steel, chrome vanadium steel, made by Case in 2015. Okay, going to show y'all the knife. This is yellow Delrin. It's got some marks. It's got I can't make that go away. I mean, I could probably sand it till it went away, but the pen would probably be jeopardized. And it's got another good little bobo right there on just by the shield. Now, this knife was brought to me by a very good friend of mine. His name is Eddie Alexander. He lives, of course, y'all don't know nothing about South Mississippi, but Well, I live in the hub. In any direction, north, south, east, or west, it's about 30 miles to the next town. Halfway between here and Lucedale, Mississippi, is what we call the Highway 15 cut through. And it's an old interstate highway that stops right on Highway 26. And he lives just on the other side of that cut through. So he's halfway between here and Lucedale, Mississippi. Doesn't really have a name for the community that he's in. He ain't quite in Bendale, and he don't live in Big Level. So those are all just little small sections of Stone County, have different names. And of course, Bendale they have a post office there, so it's not a booming metropolis. I mean, it's a stoplight in the middle of Highway 26. But anyway, all that don't mean nothing. Eddie he's a retired truck driver. He had a stroke a couple of years, maybe 3 years ago. He's recovering from that. He's, like I say, he worked for me in the junkyard. He was just a great. He's a great guy. Him and his lady friend, they come by. He rides a motorcycle pretty regular. He's got a salvage yard behind his house, but he's probably got 25 trucks that run, and he collects. I mean, he's got everything. You can go out there and, if you need a bumper for, a 65 pickup truck, and it may not be the best bumper in the world, but if you're going to just need a bumper or something to hang on there, he's got it, more than likely. Of course, you probably have to swap him and trade. He's around here we call him a cutter. He's just one of them guys. Anyway, he was delivering gravel. Now, he told me it was about 7 years ago, from best of his recollection. And he dumped the gravel, and on the way out of where he had dropped it, he saw something on the side of the road, and it was shiny. And he didn't really know what it was. Now, he don't know where it came from or nothing about it. But when he got out and picked it up, it was just a dirt clod, clod of dirt. And but sticking out of one end of it was the bolster of this knife. He brought it home, and he carried it. I don't know how, but he carried it, and it was a mess. I'm telling you what, when I got it, it was a mess. All right, now what I'm fixing to bring in here is y'all just hang with me now. This may be confusing, but I'm going to bring this in here for y'all to have a look at it. What this is, a little science class for y'all. I don't know if it's science or what it is, but I'm just going to take y'all through what happened. You'll see on here there's this piece of paper, and there's 3 pieces of T-shirt. I take a T-shirt and cut it up into little swabs, and I take this popsicle stick that I take and sand it down. Take a piece, put it on a piece of sandpaper and sand it down until it's got you can see the profile of it there. It's a bevel where it'll fit down in the grooves of a knife, and I take that, put the pad on there. Now, this is number 1. This is the show side of the knife. The first swab I went through there with, soaked up most of the oil, but you'll see there that this is red clay that came from out of where the blade channel, and then each one gets a little cleaner and a little cleaner. All right, and then I went over to the pile side, and the same thing. Now, it wasn't near as dirty, but it had a twig in it, and the second swab here. Now, when after I got the spade blade, the channel cleaned, I tried to close the knife, and it wouldn't go Let's see. It wouldn't go but about that far, and it hung up. And I kept messing, trying to figure out what it was. So I got the flashlight that broke the internet and looked down in there and found that there was a rock stuck down in there. So I got several picks and stuff that I used to, and I dug around in there. Y'all can see I got that channel looking pretty good in there. Got her cleaned up, sanded up a little bit. So she's all cleaned out now, and y'all, I mean, y'all know, but I mean, this knife was terrible, guys. I mean, it was terrible, but it goes right back in, right into the half stop. Got the snap back. I mean, it's a medium trapper. It's not gonna have no, ain't gonna be no gigantic snap. Right into the half stop. Right up into the walk and talk is good. And what he told me was just make the knife where he could use it. And that's what I've done. I brought this knife back to a point to where it can be used, and I think he's gonna be happy. Well, you can see, man, it was a train wreck. I did this cleanup after it came out of the mineral oil, and then I cleaned all that gunk and all the rocks and sticks and dirt. I got all that out of there and got the knife back to where it's usable. I did a preliminary sharpening on it. I mean, it's not hair popping, but that's a good chrome steel. So I mean, chrome vanadium steel. So it won't be hard to get an edge back on it and get it where it can be a good working knife. And like I say, he when he pulled this out, handed it to me. He had a yellow Schrade, a USA made Schrade yellow trapper. The other knife, he said he didn't want to ride home without a pocket knife. So, which I understand. But I believe I got her looking where she'll. It'll be. Look at that center. This was back when it was pretty good. Case still making pretty good stuff. But anyway, I believe it's going to be a good one for him. He's going to have him a toter. I mean, I can't get them. I mean, I could get them nicks out of there, but I wouldn't. You know, it's a toter, guys. You know, it's a knife that you know, he'll enjoy, and he'll be able to use for many years. He's like me, man. He's probably 4 years younger than I am, but he always has a pocket knife. That's the way he was raised, and it's just gonna be a good pocket knife for him. That's all it's gonna be. Well, I actually have a bonus knife. I wasn't gonna do but 3 of them, but I got one I'm gonna show y'all. Sometime last week, I had another guy that I hang with, rock on tour, but he came by and he pulled out a pocket knife and said, "Do you collect pocket knives, don't you?" And I said, "Well, you know that I do, you know, because we talked about it before." And he said, "Well, what you give me for this one?" And I looked at it, and I mean, I didn't want to pay him anything for it, but I ended up giving him $5 for it because it was worth that. But the reason I'm going to show you this knife is for, you know, I try to bring y'all some knowledge, and this knife is a prime example, and I wanted to share that with y'all, maybe enlighten y'all somewhat about the knife and the characteristics and the things that go on with it. So here it is. It's a old timer. It's a 194. Same size as that one there. It's a medium, but this is the old USA. Got the good carbon steel. Got the tinners. Now all I did was give this one a bath, and I'll explain that to you. I put it in the oil. I haven't done any polishing or any. You know, I just rubbed out. You know, this is what it looks like when it comes out of I cleaned out the channel. Now this one wasn't near as bad as that one as far as dirty and all. But there is something about this knife that you'll see quickly here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get it open. You'll see that the blade is just about worn down to nothing. That tang stamping there for y'all, Schrade USA 194 OT. Got a little blade walk there, but it locks solid. I mean, you're not gonna hurt yourself with it. Still got the good snap. But the first thing I noticed about this knife, whenever I put it in my hand, if you look at it when it's closed, get it the other way. Notice how the spring is below the liners. If I can get that in there, it sits below the liners. Okay, and then when you open the knife to where the half stop would be, it barely comes up, just barely. And then when you close it, it goes back to being recessed. Okay, now what that tells me is that this tang is worn out. And if you were, I mean, the spring is still good. So I know it's not the spring. Still got the snap. Still closes good, but the tang is wore out. Now these knives have what's called a swing pin. The bolster is put onto the pin, and in a situation where, and then it's hammered into place, but the pin swings into position. And once that pin has been peened by a machine, I feel sure back when they made it, I mean, you have to drill out the pin, and then you have to locate the pin as best you can just by sight. And getting them to line up is very difficult. Now, I mean, Mr. Kevin, the knife doctor, he's very good at it. I've tried on several occasions, and the pin just don't line back up. And then you got to go into sanding the bolsters to get them to, and that's hard to do on a liner lock because you can't get to this side of it to sand it. I mean, you can make it work, but not with a liner lock. So now all I did was like I say, I gave this a bath, rubbed it down, got it pretty. But the thing about this knife now, it's pointy. It's a sticker, and I think I got it pretty sharp. All right, it's not gonna be it ain't gonna be no curly cues, but tell you what, it'll cut. It's not, it ain't gonna scare nobody off, but I imagine you poke them in the neck with it a couple times, they probably leave you alone. Like I say, it ain't gonna be no curly cue maker, none of that kind of stuff. But I think you can carry it and use it, and it ain't gonna hurt nobody's feelings. I mean, it's just an old knife. Sometimes you gotta let an old knife be an old knife. All right, guys, a little modified money for y'all. Maybe a little education, maybe a little how-to. I don't know what all. Nice little knife right here. This little cases. Those are some good knives. So I enjoy doing this. I mean, I've spent most of my week. Of course, I got 5 projects working right now. I don't think I would be a satisfied video without me coming in and showing y'all the poster back there for the knife show, April 11th and 12th, Wiggins, Mississippi, out by the airport. Deep South Cutlery. I mean, I could tell y'all all about it. The pictures on there. Get in there where you fit in there. The knife doctor is going to be the special guest. YouTubers from all around the country are going to be there. I'll be there. Y'all come on. Let's have some good Christian fellowship. let's talk about some knives. And it's going to be a family event. Uh, the whole crew from Deep South is going to be there. So I just don't think you can go wrong. I don't think you can spend 2 day or 1 day or a half a day in a better place with better people. So, old Big Jam down here in Mississippi gonna get on out of here. I'm glad y'all are here. Y'all know I love my family. So, last thing I know what to say is rule number 9.